Chairman Takana, Chairman Tester, ranking members Both and Moran, members of the House and Senate Committee on Veterans Affairs. Russia's invasion of Ukraine is a stark reminder that peace is fragile. At any time, with or without notice, military personnel may be called upon to defend our freedom. An essential purpose of the American Legion is to ensure those personnel are not forgotten after the fighting is over. The American Legion was founded largely on that idea. As you see from our legislative priorities for the second session of the 117th Congress, peer support is a central theme. And as veterans, we're all peers. No matter where we served, no matter when we served, or who we are. Peer support is based upon the American Legion's continued to fight for government accountability to men and women exposed to dangerous toxins while in uniform. Peer support is why we led the fight to obtain health care benefits for bomb test veterans who were exposed to atomic radiation. The American Legion later proved to the world, with the help from Columbia University, that the defoliant Agent Orange poisoned tens of thousands of our peers, Vietnam veterans. And today, on behalf of our comrades from the newest era, we implore Congress to deliver long overdue relief, assistance and recognition for veterans who suffered due to the exposure to the toxic fumes burn pits in the Middle East. Specifically, we call for a three-pronged approach. One, concede that exposure occurred to all veterans deployed to identified locations during the Gulf War and the global war on terror. Two, establish a list of presumptive illnesses associated with exposure to burn pits and other toxic hazards where scientific evidence exists. And three, create a framework for the VA to establish additional presumptive illnesses when scientific evidence shows an association. Veterans who are suffering now cannot wait decades to receive the care they need and rightfully deserve, as was the fate for so many veterans exposed to Agent Orange. Whether a veteran was exposed to toxins in the jungle of Vietnam or a combat outpost in Iraq, we in the American Legion all stand as peers who have been down this road before and know the government can do better to accept responsibility and help these veterans as they confront illnesses caused by preventable exposures. This value is written into our American Legion Constitution preamble to concentrate and sanctify our comradeship by our devotion to mutual happiness. That vow, over a century old, guides our spirit and peer support today. There is perhaps no better example of the power of peer support than Buddy Check program, which American Legion launched in 2019. More than 3,600 American Legion posts performed Buddy Check outreach services for veterans in 2020. And nearly 3,800 did so again in 2021. Approximately 500,000 veterans have been assisted through this program. Some veterans have needed food, medicine, or household repairs. Others needed to understand how VA could help them. The majority was simply glad to hear a fellow veteran's voice during a difficult time. Isolation is no friend to the veteran who may be confronting post-trauma stress disorder and possibly a risk of suicide, and in need of connection with others who understand. That is why we strongly support the expansion of Buddy Check into a national week outreach by VA. A National Buddy Check Week can help bridge that gap between veterans in need and VA services to help them. Connections like that is why we also strongly support the attachment of trained peer support specialists to posts of the American Legion and other veterans organizations around the country. American Legion peer support extends to the immigrant veterans who have always served in the United States Armed Forces. For most of our nation's existence, that service opened a reliable pathway to U.S. citizenship. More than 760,000 immigrants have become naturalized U.S. citizens this way. In the last few years, however, that pathway has been obstructed. Citizenship assistance programs have faded from our military bases. U.S. veterans from other nations are serving honorably and then discharging as resident alien non-citizens. They come out confused. Why did their service not bring them citizenship, let alone expedited citizenship they believe was promised to them? And then in the worst case, they are deported and disconnected from the VA benefits they've earned. Thank you, Chairman Takana, for your leadership on behalf of our immigrants, military peers who served honorably, but were later deported because U.S. citizenship was next to impossible for them while they were in service, fighting on our behalf. The American Legion proudly supports the Veterans Deportation Prevention and Reform Act that addresses naturalization during service and protects non-citizen veterans and their families from unwarranted deportation. Peer support drives the American Legion ongoing priority to improve VA healthcare service for women, the fastest growing demographic among our peers. The Protecting Moms Who Served Act was one step, among many more that need to be taken before women feel comfortable and well served in all VA medical facilities. Peer support is why we continue to fight for fair GI Bill education benefits for reserves and National Guard veterans who have served on the front line of America's dangerous battle against the COVID-19 pandemic, but have not accrued GI Bill points unless they receive federal orders. Peer support stirred the American Legion outrage when we learned that barracks of Walter Reed National Military Medical Center had become so run down that showers and air conditioners did not work. Locks were broken. Sanitary conditions were nearly unlivable for years. Quality of life for military personnel and publicity breakdowns like this have a definite impact and willingness of young people to enlist or stay in the service. Peer support is always why we demand that U.S. Coast Guard personnel are protected for pay interruptions in the event government shutdowns, as are the other branches of the military service. They should be receiving their pay. And this brings me back to Ukraine. Today, as U.S. troops deploy to Eastern Europe to defend our allies in case the war expands, history reminds us again that we never know when or with what notice men and women will be called upon to fight. How we treat them now and in the years ahead, when the effects of their sacrifice are upon them, is certain to be more than a matter of compassion, but one of national security as well. With Russia's invasion of Ukraine, we are witnessing Europe's largest ground war since World War II. It's disheartening to know there are still World War II veterans who do not have access to VA health care and the benefits. The American Legion is fighting to correct this lapse with legislative pending in Congress. Our World War II veterans halted the spread of tyranny, securing our democracy for generations to come. As of last month, fewer than 240,000 World War II veterans remain, and hundreds pass away every day. And I want to thank both the House and the Senate Veterans Affairs Committee for passing bills that would rectify this. Time is literally running out for these veterans. It is critically important that one of these bills is enacted into law soon as possible. It is time that we do this now while we still have some of that greatest generation still with us. We're losing them too quick. Let's honor them. Thank y'all for passing that bill. Now we just need to get the work done. Chairman Takana, Chairman Tester, ranking members Laws and Moran, on behalf of more than 3 million members of the American Legion family, the American Legion Auxiliary, the Sons of the American Legion, I thank you for the opportunity to present just some of our American Legion's legislative priorities for this session of Congress. And we look forward to your questions and discussions. Thank you.